Okay, so I'm going to do another video. This one is going to be about hate, jealousy, things like that. I'm not going to talk about who or where I saw it, but I want to talk about a bit about black fishing and people who make the accusation of mixed fishing and black fishing, because I feel like often black people who accuse, excuse me, people of blackfishing often seem like for example, I've said this before, I think, but like, you know how people will say, for example, um, Khloe Kardashian was trying to look like Beyonce, even though it was with Khloe Kardashian wearing blonde curly hair, of which Beyonce doesn't naturally have, was never born with blonde curly hair coming out of her head. She's probably not even born with loose curls coming out of her head. And technically, Khloe Kardashian was actually born with curly blonde hair coming out of her head. Um, and also, let's just point out light brown skinned or whatever color we're going to call Beyonce, black women who are phenotypically like her are not born with blonde curly hair coming out of their heads. Often I find it as if when people accuse these white women of blackfishing, they will compare their look to someone who literally is having some feature similar to them that they don't have naturally themselves. You saying that someone is trying to look like you, yet you have a look where you have blonde, curly hair in your head that's not coming from your head naturally. Um, or you are changing your nose structure. You are changing your, in Beyonce's case, I mean, technically, if you look at her skin tone, I've always noticed, why is her face lighter than her body? Like, something not working out there. Right. I mean, I'm just saying. So, I mean, like, you guys say that people like Khloe Kardashian are trying to look like black women, but all the things that you are saying that she has and that she's trying to look like is people who are literally trying to look like her. So, I mean, how is she a black fisher? It makes no sense to me. And then it's the same thing with mixed people. They'll say the same thing. Like, they'll claim that, for example, someone like Ariana Grande is trying to look mixed race. I do not usually see Ariana Grande with, like, hair that is curly. Ariana Grande, I usually see her hair straight and it's black. She has a tan. Oh, you didn't know she was Italian? If you don't know Italians tan, well, I don't know, you need to go out sometimes or something, because something's not making sense here. You're thinking that Italians are supposed to be, like, pale like the Swedish? Seriously, something's wrong with you that you don't understand that Southern European people actually tan. So, I mean, when people try and say that, like, they're mixed fishing, it makes no sense to me, because to me, people like, for example, Ariana Grande or like Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian, I don't see anything about them that looks like a black woman. If a black woman looks like them, it's not that black woman is doing anything wrong. It's just specifically that she has a phenotype that is more ambiguous and doesn't specifically look like a mixed or black woman. Many of the time, also, I wanted to talk about one other thing, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but it's true. I mean, when we talk about mixed fishers, most of the time, if you look at people who are like Beyonce's color or lighter, like people who are like Ciara's color or lighter, somewhere around there, like a light brownish complexion, generally get pressured to look different than what they were born to look like, basically. And many of the time, they'll be treated like better when they don't look specifically how they were born to look. Like, for example, why is it most every mixed race or light skinned black woman has lighter hair? Like, naturally, light skinned black women don't have blonde hair. But yet, we're all pushed to have this blonde look. That, I don't know, it's like you're saying that they blackfish, but what are you doing when you make your look more like them? I don't know, like to me, that's more of something to consider. And I don't even see being blonde as a wrong thing. Obviously, I don't. Um, but I just find it weird to act like a person who is naturally blonde was born actually naturally blonde, as a lot of white women are, is trying to be you when their hair is a color that your hair cannot naturally be, my hair cannot naturally be, but they're blackfishing to look like you when you are the one wearing their hair color. You are the one wearing something similar to them. You are the one making your hair texture look differently and more similar to theirs. So, I mean, I don't really see how it's black fishing. I don't see how it's mixed fishing. So many times people talk about natural hair, and sure, a black person could have natural hair. They could have natural hair, straighten their hair, and dye it blonde. That's still not their natural hair texture or color. So I don't understand why someone who is actually literally wearing features of another ethnic background, of people of a different background, is calling other people who have that natural phenotype black fishers. That doesn't make sense to me. That's what kind of bothers me with this whole situation, because most of the time that I see people being accused for blackfishing, they will say in the same breath of the same person, while they are wearing features that are in common with white people, that they're blackfishing because their skin tone looks a little bit darkish or something, or their hair's curly or something, When it's like, in reality, you wouldn't look this way if you didn't alter your appearance either. So how are you accusing these people of blackfishing when you are altering your appearance as well? There's nothing wrong with altering your appearance. It's beautiful. I mean, if you want to look like nice for yourself, that's nice. I think black women are beautiful, and I think mixed women are beautiful. But I just think this accusation of black fishing and mixed fishing seems like a way to just hide your jealousy. And it's just uncomfortable for me because as a person of color, I don't like when black women seem jealous. I don't like when mixed women seem jealous of white women because you're putting yourself in an inferior level. I don't see white women do that as often to black or mixed women because usually they're confident with where they're at. And that's the thing. I just wish black and mixed women were confident with where they're at, you know? Not constantly like going after the other like white women when technically innately they don't even have a phenotype similar to us, so why are we going after them? They To me, when it comes to looks and competition, to me I'm like, well, I have my own beauty, my own type of beauty. Mixed women have their own type of beauty, black women have their own type of beauty, white women have their own type of beauty. Why would I try and compare my own type of beauty with a white woman who's completely opposite to me? I don't understand that. The only reason I would go after their beauty is if I'm not satisfied with my own beauty, and I am trying to knock their own beauty to feel better about my inferior feelings about my own beauty. So that's the only reason I would actually go after their beauty and try and knock them down and try and say they're blackfishing to basically, attack them when in reality you should just be happy with being your beautiful self and not making yourself look so bad. So that's all I have to say on that with blackfishing and mixed fishing. To me, it weirds me out when people complain about that. I also think, like I said, with mixed fishing, it's just weird because there's so many things with mixed fishing that weirds me out with that accusation from that background because it's like, you know how I see it. I see like black women have their own, ideal beauty. And I think honestly their beauty standard is to die for. Is very I think it's better than like I think they should be basically happy with what they have because it's pretty good what they got going on over there. But you know, when it comes to mixed women, there is the ideal of both qualities, but at the same time, it always seems like it's more so an idea of what can be the widest. That game of basically having the widest phenotype as the most ideal can be problematic because then white women always win that, and therefore you don't have anything for yourself. So sometimes I feel like, you know, the mixed side of it can sometimes be seemingly unsatisfactory, at least from my perspective. It just seems like, I don't know, like, but I do think that everyone has their own ideal beauty. I just feel like sometimes it just would be better, as far as like dark skinned black women, they have their own like ideal, and I don't feel like it compares to anybody else. It's like its own type of beauty. Like it's not like I have features of this and I have features of that, and that I have like basically an ideal combination of, my black features and my white features because you're never mastering either side because you're not either thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's just from my perspective how I see it. And I say that from a personal thing because I mean, I am technically mixed race, but yeah, I don't know. If I had the choice, I would rather be a dark skinned black woman because I feel like, you could just be your natural, beautiful self and it seems pretty ideal, but it just seems like most of the time when people claim like blackfishing, it's almost like they're basically coming from a place of feeling inferior, I think. And I think the problem is with blackfishing is many of the time they feel like those people look better than they do as black people, even though they don't look like black people. It's more so a look they wish they could accomplish that they cannot accomplish. When it's like, that's not a look for you. Your look is something else, and it's just as beautiful, maybe even more beautiful. So stop going after other people because once you go after other people, it makes them look better than you. It makes them look more valuable than you. So, yeah, that's just my whole complaint on colors. I mean, not colorism, blackfishing and mixed fishing. I want to do one other video. Actually, I think I might do 3 more videos, but don't. Um, I'm not too sure about that, actually, honestly. But I'm going to do a video on colorism and a few other videos, so stay tuned and thanks for watching. Bye.